The village was small, quiet. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, where the hustle and bustle of the modern world felt like a distant memory. The villagers lived simple lives, in harmony with nature. Nestled between hills, it held secrets. Secrets that whispered through the leaves and echoed in the valleys. The hills cradled the village, protecting it from the outside world, yet hiding mysteries of their own. The oldest was the tree. An ancient sentinel, it had witnessed generations come and go. Its roots dug deep into the earth, anchoring it firmly in place. Gnarled and twisted, it stood at the edge of the forest. Its branches reached out like skeletal arms, casting eerie shadows on the ground below. It was a tree that seemed to be alive with stories of its own. Villagers spoke of the tree in hushed tones. They told stories, tales passed down through generations of strange happenings and mysterious sightings. The tree was a source of both fear and fascination, of a girl who lived within its branches, a spectral figure glimpsed only in the corner of one's eye. She was said to be the spirit of the tree, a guardian of its secrets, a girl no one had ever seen, yet her presence was felt by all. The rustling of leaves, the creaking of branches, all seemed to speak of her. The tree was a landmark, a warning. It stood as a reminder of the past, of things best left undisturbed, a symbol of the village's history and its mysteries. Stay away, it seemed to say. Its very presence was a caution, a silent sentinel guarding its secrets. Listen to the whispers of the wind. The wind carried the voices of the past, the stories of the tree and the warnings of the villagers. Fear hung heavy around the tree. It was a palpable presence, a feeling that something was always watching, always waiting. It was a place of shadows, of unseen eyes, a place where the past and present intertwined, where the line between reality and legend blurred. The legend had been passed down for generations, whispered from one to another, like a secret too powerful to be forgotten. The girl in the tree, they said, was a spirit, a ghostly figure bound to the ancient wood. Trapped by a broken heart, seeking solace in the darkness, her presence was a constant reminder of sorrow and loss. Some claimed to have heard her cries at night, a haunting melody that echoed through the trees, a mournful wail that chilled them to the bone, sending shivers down their spines and making their hearts race. Others spoke of seeing a shadowy figure, a fleeting glimpse of something not quite human, moving amongst the branches, always just out of sight, as if playing a sinister game of hide and seek. Children were warned never to go near the tree for fear of being taken by the spirit. "The girl will take you," their mothers would whisper, their voices trembling with fear and urgency, their voices filled with fear, their eyes wide with the terror of the unknown. The legend had woven itself into the fabric of the village, becoming a part of their daily lives. It was a part of their lives, their fears, their reality, a story that shaped their actions and their beliefs. Around campfires, the elders would recount the tale, their voices low and serious, warning the young ones to heed the legend. The children listened, wide-eyed and silent, the weight of the story settling heavily on their young minds. And so, the whispers and warnings continued, a timeless echo in the heart of the ancient forest. Ali scoffed at the stories. He was a city boy, new to the village. He didn't believe in ghosts or spirits. "It's just an old tree," he told the other children. They looked at him with wide, frightened eyes. "You shouldn't talk about her like that," one whispered. "She'll hear you." Ali laughed. He wasn't afraid. He would prove them wrong. He would climb the tree, see this mysterious girl for himself. The afternoon sun cast long shadows as Ali approached the tree. He felt a shiver run down his spine, but he pushed the feeling aside. It was just the wind, he told himself. He began to climb. The bark was rough against his hands. The air grew colder as he ascended. He could hear the wind rustling the leaves, whispering secrets he couldn't understand. And then he heard it, laughter, soft and chilling. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Ali froze. His breath caught in his throat and he felt a chill run down his spine. The forest around him seemed to close in, the trees whispering secrets he couldn't understand. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat echoing in his ears like a drum. He looked up, trying to steady his breathing, but the fear was overwhelming. A shadow moved above him, silhouetted against the setting sun. It was an eerie sight, almost otherworldly. He lost his grip on the branch he was holding. He fell, tumbling through the air, branches scratching at his skin. The world spun around him, a blur of green and brown. He landed with a thud, the air knocked from his lungs. Pain shot through his body, but he couldn't focus on it. He had to get up. He lay there for a moment stunned. The forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting. He could hear the rustling of leaves, the distant call of a bird. Then he looked up and saw her. His eyes widened in disbelief. The girl from the tree. She was real, not just a figment of his imagination. She stood over him, her face hidden in the shadows of the leaves. There was something ethereal about her, something that made his skin crawl, but her eyes, he could see her eyes. They were piercing, almost as if they could see into his soul. They were as cold and dark as the tree itself. A shiver ran down his spine. "You shouldn't have come here," she whispered, her voice like the rustling of dead leaves. "This is my tree." Her words sent a chill through him, and he felt a sense of dread wash over him. Ali scrambled to his feet, his mind racing. He had to get away from her, from this place. He had to get away. He turned and ran, his feet pounding against the forest floor. He didn't look back, afraid of what he might see. He could hear her laughter echoing behind him, a haunting melody that seemed to follow him long after he had fled the forest. The legend was real, and he had come face to face with it. The forest would never be the same for him again.